Hello there. Hey, it's Friday, January 24th, and my name is Rob, thatDeveloperDad, and we are building stuff in .NET using C Sharp and Blazor and APIs and all kinds of stuff. In particular, we are preparing to launch this simple application that helps me create non-player characters as an actual factual product. But before we dive in, I realized that when I was getting back to my desk, I didn't grab coffee. So bear with me for just a minute. We're going to go for a short walk and fetch some of the delicious code juice. It'll just take a second, and then we'll dive on in. Pardon me. All right, almost there. So yesterday we got the admin API swapped over to use client secret credentials instead of the managed identity credentials that I had hoped to use. I could have dug in and spent days and days figuring out what I was doing wrong and all that stuff. But honestly, I want to get this thing out the door and released to the public. And I knew how to do client secret credentials, so that's what I shifted things over to. And it's okay because the API is not going to be published to public internet addresses, stuff like that. Um, so I'm okay with it using that for now. It's better than nothing, and it'll do. So then I got the actual end user facing application, converted over to use that, and I made some tweaks in the sign up and sign in type stuff. And I want to make sure I am hitting the correct URL. I am. I have to do that while I'm off screen because I've got some secret words um, in my environment file, and I do need to remember to put those up into the Azure installation later offline. I'm not going to be doing that live streamed. Okay, so the next thing I got to do is let us create a new branch from. And we're going to create it from main. And I'm going to call it feature / pre-launch tasks. Boop. All right, we've got pre-launch tasks rolling here. Now, let's uncomment this. Take care of that. And what I'm doing here is I'm just setting up an authorized view on the home page so that I can test whether or not the end user should or should not see the upgrade button. All right, that looks good enough. So let's try running this. Pardon me. Goodness. All right, so this is doing its thing. I need HTTPS 7277, I believe. Yes, I do. So I'll go clickety-boo. And here we go. And we'll sign in. And let's sign in as my full-on account first. So in we go. All right, I don't see anything there. That's good. I can access my townsfolk. A big collection of them. Let's go back to the home page, sign out. Now we'll sign in as the test free user type person. We'll sign in, and I do not see it. Probably because it hasn't refreshed in the bin folder after I made that change, because for some reason this gets really silly and I gotta actually do a full rebuild because something ends up cached somewhere and it gets silly. So let's try this. Oh, and it looks like I've got to restart some extensions. I'll do that in a second. All right, that's running. It's attempting to reconnect to the server. Let's go ahead and just reload. We'll do a full-on reload. And I am a free user. You are a free user. This is just temporary, so grammar don't matter. All right. So let's see here. What all do I need to do to get this stuff to do its thing? Thinking. You are a free user. I need to, instead of that stuff, okay, that's a big old button. This is a button. So I think what I actually want to do here is, rather than do anything goofy here, I want to add a partial. We'll add a new file. And it's just going to be a custom file without a template called account button dot razor. All right, now I need to take a look at the NPC list to see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to pull this over to the other screen just so that I've got it for reference. And we'll do this. All right, so I'm also going to want the C#. Come on, you goof. Here we go. There's that. It's got the logger and all that stuff. You know, I'm thinking I kind of don't really want to do this as a discrete component after all. So on view NPC click, let's just close this stuff down. I don't need that. Let's add I actually want to change this from user level to free user. There we go. Now let's add a div. And let's go ahead and take this. We're not going to use an image on here. To unlock more advanced. I really wish Copilot had calmed down. More advanced generation. To unlock unordered list. Li. More storage slots. Li. Advanced NPC creation. Advanced NPC creations. Yeah. All right. Upgrade now. Save this, and we got to remember to rebuild. Silly, silly. Big button clickable, upgrade now, yeah. And that's an href to create NPC. All right, so we're going to have to add some clicky-do stuff on here, but we'll get there. All right. I want to see how it looks first. So let's do that. Seems to be running. Pop open a new Safari window and go HTTPS localhost 72. And I'm not typing anywhere because I'm a goon. No, I'm not a goon. I'm going to stop using that word. 72, 77, because I think that's been given a new meaning. Okay, upgrade to a premium account to unlock more storage slots, advanced NPC creations, upgrade now. Now this big button, I should probably make some sort of image for this. I wonder. And it's also not centered, which is kind of annoying. Div ID homepage nav. I bet if I take this stuff, I need this authorized view. Yeah. Control X. Drop it in here. Inside the homepage nav. Save it. I'm going to have to restart the app. I might have to just do a full stop and rebuild, but we'll find out. Yeah, I'm going to have to just completely stop it and restart. Ugh, that's silly. So we'll rebuild. Is built. And now let's run it. And just command click on that URL. In we go. And this has completely jacked everything up. Not in love with that. Don't like the way that's looking at all. Nope. I don't like it. No, sir. Stop as a project. And I'm going to move this authorize view out of where I dropped it. There we go. Let's see about if I put it inside a new div. No. Putting it inside homepage nav isn't going to do what I want. Okay, it needs to come in here. Paste it there. Authorize view, authorize view, authorize context for user. And we'll save, rebuild. And in a second, we could run it. Run! Run, you fool! Reload. And it still looks a little janky. Like, it still looks quite janky. But we're going to get an image for this. I'll make one up later today and set that in there. Now, the ID has to be unique, but I want to take a look at what's in this homepage nav thing. So for that, let's take a look at www root And styles. Here's big button. Here's big button. Here's button, big button, clickable. Here's all of my animation stuff, or my special effects rather. Let's see if I can find homepage nav in here. Main class, centered content. Okay, so that's good. And then, will it take me to a definition? It will not. I'm going to copy this, edit, find in files. Let's look for hashtag homepage nav. Okay. Let's see. Not using app.css. Won't be in base vars. Excuse me. It's not in typography. I don't think. Might I have done something silly? Nope. Doesn't look like it. See if we can find centered content somewhere. Control F for centered. Okay, so here's centered content. Column, justified content, center. Okay, so that's right. Hashtag. Homepage, nope. Homepage nav, no. I don't have any style declared for that. So, let's see here. Radio button list. Shown, task host. I wonder if I pop out here and say class equals centered content, stop, rebuild, and none of this is getting us to the fun stuff. Excuse me. And we'll run now that we've rebuilt. And we'll reload. Okay. Okay, so that's a little better. And now I need to spin up here, class, centered content. And I believe I need to drop that into task host. Let's find out for sure. I don't remember the exact right thing. Let's look at NPC list. Task host. Yep. So come to home and div class equals task host. Grab this, spin down the bottom, pop there, save it, stop, rebuild and reload. I've got to see if I can find a better task and launch definition for this to set up .NET Watch and all that other fun stuff. Okay, so just my code is enabled. Let's reload over here. And let's pop up here. What can I help you create today? Okay, and let's refresh this again. And I really want it to move to the top when it loads. And I want to sign out to see what we see here. All right, so this is the view when we first come in. So that's fine. We'll sign in as a test account and see what loads. All right, the issue here is that this big button is just too bloody big. So instead of using a big button, let's define a medium button. We'll zip over here and find big button. Where is big button? Here's button, big button. And go with .medium button. And I am going to copy almost everything out of here. Copy, paste, and instead of being 200 wide, 250 tall, I am going to say we're going to center the content, and let's just go with 125 pixels here. Save. Now, I don't know that it's going to necessarily refresh everything for me, even though it was just a styles change. It is not, so fine. Rebuild. Let's get rid of that fine thing. Seems to be rebuilt. Spin it on up. Reload over here. And I've completely jacked something up. Great now. Big button clickable, medium button clickable. Yeah, oh, I broke something. There we go. Save that. Boy, stop, rebuild. if I got a problem over here. Whatever. Medium button, display flex, justify content center, column, center, yeah, 125 rem, 55 degrees, 300, Almendra, font size 2, color var, la, boogity boo, boo boo boo. All right, that looks legit. Save, try running again. I did have an extra closing bracket out in the HTML somewhere, which was causing a problem. And let's reload again. And for some reason, that button is being goofy. Like, take a look. So it seems like the clickable thing is working. But it's not displaying correctly. So width is 200, height is 125. La 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 la. Background position. Okay. I wonder why this is being silly. Let me think. Medium button. Copy this. Paste it right here. Big button clickable. Medium button clickable. The ID is upgrade button. Yeah. Okay. Stop. Rebuild. Restart. And reload. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Let's inspect the element. Upgrade now. It says medium button. So that's good. Medium button clickable. Okay. Task host, feature host. From body. Okay. Properties, animation delay. Layout. Yeah, it says medium button. Root, HTML. I'd really like to see the definition for that style. Display is block. Should the display be block? I don't know. Come here. Display as flex. It says it's a flex item. Action body, those are overridden. So these styles aren't coming in somehow. It's all our variables. Node. Div ID upgrade button. Here's all kinds of stuff. Stuff, property map, whatever. Changes, nope. Font, no. Layers? No. Where the heck? Sources. See if we can find it. Let's find. That's all data image stuff. Styles. Here's .big button. And for some reason, .medium button isn't getting incorporated. All right. I feel like this is an effect of this rebuild silliness. So let's do a clean and then rebuild. And I want to take a look, just because I'm feeling silly, at the file system here. So let's go to bin, debug, net8. Let's go here. We'll spoop this out a little further. Browser host debug. Okay, so that's not what we care about there. Newtonsoft, what are you doing in here? Game tools, here's all this stuff. I should have a www root around here somewhere. Let's go to runtimes. Unix, Win, WinArm. Unix, lib, net6. Not what I'm looking for. So, does the style get compiled into my Blazor client? That's an interesting question. Because here's medium button. Let's rebuild it one more time. We'll launch. And I'll just use that so I don't have to type the IP address. Now, for some crazy reason, it still hasn't updated. Reload page. It's fine. Let's see the page source. See what we can find in here. Let's come in here. Blazor error UI, navbar toggler. Loading overlay. This is all kinds of stuff, isn't it? Media only. Excuse me. Find big button is not in here. All right. Styles. Here's dot big button. Dot medium button is totally missing. So let's figure out what the heck is going on here. Localhost, stop. And let's ask Copilot. I just added a new CSS class to my styles.css file in my Blazor application. That class is not showing up when the app is served, even after cleaning and rebuilding. Let's see what you've got to say for yourself. Cache an older version, file path, yeah, that it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Sometimes build configurations might not include the updated CSS file. Browser developer tools. The class is being referenced by the element I've applied it to, but it's not in the styles.css that's been loaded into the browser. Styles ensure it's being loaded. Verify file changes. Blah, 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 blah. That's Chrome and Firefox. Might not copy the latest version of the file. Not using inline styles. All right. Let's build that. And it's run. New window. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and use Edge, just for laughs. Localhost 7277. Pull this over here. And it sees me as Rob because there's still an auth cookie from the last time I was in here. So we'll sign out. Oh gosh, I don't think I know the password for the other guy. So that ain't gonna work. You goofball. All I wanted to do was check to see if it was loading correctly. Localhost 7277. Let's pull this over here. and inspect element. We'll just inspect whatever because it gives us our developer tools, right? And let's do empty cache and hard refresh. Let it completely reload from nothing. Great. Now, look at our dev tools. Over here, bloop. Take a peek at the sources. Look at styles. And let's see if I'm barking up the right tree at all. So there's big button, and here's medium button. So it's obviously an issue with Safari. Safari isn't picking up the most recent. So purely for science, pop this guy open. Localhost 7277 and develop we'll do a inspect element to load up the developer tools window. And let's see if we can find a hard reload. Start element selection. Dock to left. I don't want to do any of that. Network. Shrinky do this guy down here so we can still see everything. Reload. Here's styles.css. Scroll down, there's button, big button, and it's not getting medium button. So let's disable the caches. And we have our medium button. I just had to disable the browser cache. And I use Safari as my daily driver. And I didn't want to dump all of my caches. Because who knows what kind of stuff it's remembering for me that I won't remember. But we've got this now. Great. Well, this took a ridiculously long time to get this figured out. Because browser programming can be kind of painful, like moose bites. Now, excuse me. I'm going to add code. And private string, user ID, private string, display name. Well, no, not the display name. User email. And let's go through all this nonsense. User manager. We're not injecting that or anything like that. HTTP context accessor. Not really worried about that. Our user. And let's not monkey with any of that. There's that. Non-static field method or property. And we're going to inject it. At inject. Copilot, calm down. Let's do that. And that. Let's spin down here. Now, it's going to give us maybe a claims principal. And user dot claims dot first to default. We're just gonna be super quick and dirty. Object identifier dot value. If that's null, give me string dot empty. Equals preferred username. That's not quite what I want, but whatever. And fine. I don't care. Whatever. I want to drop a breakpoint right here. So we're going to save, rebuild. Now, all of this stuff happens up on the server. And let's spin it. Up you go. And have I? I have not. Let's pop this up. Do one of those. All right, here we go. User. Not null. Beautiful. Actually, let's do a little bit of interrogation here. So we've got our claims principal. We've got a whole pile of claims. Yeah, just enumerate the IEnumerable. So we've got the name identifier, and I believe that's going to be blah, 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 blah. That is the user ID. Groovy. Subject is that. Let's take a look at what 8 claims exist here. So the name on here is that. Auth time. Boogity boogity boo. We see that it was authenticated by Entra. We can stop looking at the subject. Auth time, claim, name. Do we have an email address? Given surname. Aha, emails. Beautiful. So that's what I want there. So stop. Emails. All right. Save. And now I am also going to inject not a color, admin manager, admin manager. All right. Actually, wait. Not that. I workloads. And it's really the back end for my front end, like that API. So let's call it back end. And we'll fix this. Boop. There we go. iCharacter workloads, back end. Get out of here. Scram. There we go. So user ID, user email. If user ID does not equal string.empty, and also user email is not equal to string.empty. No, you know what? We're going to make user email optional. String upgrade URL equals that backend character workloads user ID. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. It's not what we want to do. Backend dot start add certificate add get upgrade URL. Underscore user ID user email dot continue with what the hell, we'll use that. T dot payload. Now T is the return type. T dot payload. Var backend result equals that and upgrade. Okay, if backend result dot was successful. Upgrade URL equals backend result dot payload. Okay. String.empty. And this is test code. This is just making sure it's going to do what I need it to do. So I want to see if I'm able to actually spin the app up, get it running, or like have it run, and then actually obtain this URL when we load the home screen. If the user ID exists. And then I want to see what happens when I load the home page as somebody who hasn't signed in. So let's run. Right. Here's the HTTPS version. We have paused. Our user is not null. Do we have an email? We do. Beautiful. Upgrade URL. See if we can get it. Now the API is going to take a second to wake up. It might even just fail. But we'll find out. Yeah, it's still trying to load. I should have poked the API before we did this. It's probably awake by now, but we'll find out. What's the logs say? All kinds of stuff. Oh, we got an exception. Character workloads get upgrade URL. Okay, so something exploded. Is okay. Object reference not set. Get upgrade URL, string user ID, email address, blah, blah, blah. Going to tell us what is not set to an instance of an object? Or is it just going to be a goose? I think it's going to be a goose. Oh yeah, it's completely pooped the bed. So it's talking about somewhere inside that API thingy. So let's come into character workloads and not load the user profile, but get upgrade URL. Stop in here. And what we'll do is we will restart the app. And after this attempt, we've crossed over the 60-minute line. After this attempt, I'm going to conclude this session, and we'll keep working towards this in the next session. So let's reload. Here we go. So we know this stuff is working okay. So carry on. Is our admin manager? The admin manager is null. Okay. Because we're not injecting it. That'll do it. Admin manager. Admin manager. Need a comma. Save. Yeah, the great thing about dependency injection is you get to control all of that stuff outside the context of the class that is leveraging the dependency. But if you don't remember to inject the dependency into the class, bad things happen. Reload. Because yes, I am frequently a goose. Honk. Feels like it kind of went off on a little adventure here. What's going on? Looks like we had another issue. Unhandled exception in circuit. Object ref not set. Am I still a goose? Let's put this back. Rebuild. Golly. Run. Reload. All right, we're paused here. Let's drop a break. Let's drop the breakpoint here because we know that those bits are working. Yep, user ID exists. Is the admin manager still null? It is not. Good. We can see that it is trying to make the HTTP call off to the remote API. And of course, the remote API is then forwarding. Oh, look at that. We got something back. Oh, and of course, like a frickin' bozo, error occurred while attempting to start the account upgrade. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have any logs down here, but it could not deserialize something. Have an API HTTP provider, line 125. JSON value cannot be converted to create uplink response payload. Hada, 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 hada. Blah-bitty blue. Okay, that's something that we can take up this afternoon. It looks like the JSON deserialization is failing when it's receiving the response from Lemon Squeezy after making that API call. And that's something we can actually do something about. Excuse me. It's a little crazy that it gave me the entire. Oh, no, wait. It's failing up in the resource access provider. So we can actually drop a breakpoint. We don't have to go all the way out to the API for this yet. We can start troubleshooting in here. We know loader create is working because I got that rolling yesterday. But let's drop a breakpoint here, and this is where we'll pick up when I come back at 1 o'clock. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep working on this when in the next session. Take care, everybody.